What's going on, everybody? Blaise over here at the Blue Chip Athletic Club podcast, and we're super stoked to have you guys tuning in here on July the 9th. Before we get into today's topic, I just had a ton of questions about, summer travel, especially like tips. My wife Chelsea and I just got back from a bunch of travel ourselves, and I kind of wanted to share a couple, I guess, my three biggest tips for you guys as you're kind of moving through your summer travel plans. So, big ones here. Tip number one is going to be to pack your snacks. If you're able to pack your snacks, especially if you can prioritize some protein intake for your satiety along the way, especially when you're at the airport or something like that, it can be much more effective in keeping you fuller for longer and then allow you to, take steps towards your goals, even when you're on the road, even when you're traveling. So, Chelsea really likes those chomp sticks. They're almost like Slim Jims, but a little bit healthier for you. I like Perfect Bars personally. I think they're low glycemic index. There's not a bunch of additives in them as well. They're kind of calorically dense, but typically you got to find some sort of a trade-off when you're kind of on the road. So just a couple of the ones that we really like. Next, number two, big tip is going to be rest. So vacation, a lot of times people are kind of go, 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 go on vacation. You got to pack as much into your week-long timeline or 3-day weekend or 4-day weekend or whatever it looks like. But if you can kind of prioritize your rest, your sleep, your bedtime, deep sleep, those types of things, it's going to be really, really effective when you take that little bit of time away and then you're able to come back and really get after your training. That's going to be really, really effective and helpful for you. Number three, big tip is going to be the scale isn't telling the whole story. Now, I had a client this past week. We just kind of hopped off the phone actually this morning, who had been really sick before going on vacation and weighed in at a new low. And his goal is weight loss and fat loss. So weighed in at a new low, and then went on vacation, but was sick prior to that weigh-in. Went on vacation and came back, and his delta of weight, he gained like 6 or 7 pounds. A couple of things that went into that. Number one, he was sick before he left, not eating a ton, not drinking a ton. So his body was kind of at that lower end of his normal weight range anyway. Number two, big thing, big key factor is that when he went on vacation, he ate a ton. He started to reintroduce alcohol into his diet, which is another kind of piece of the pie that we talk about, especially in the summer travel regime, being something that can or cannot affect the scale in a certain way. And then number three is that, like, for you to be able to put on 6 or 8 pounds in a span of like 4 days, you would have to overeat like a absolute metric shitload. Like, it would have to be something that's almost just so insurmountable, just because your body is working to stay in that homeostasis range where you're naturally at so hard. There's a ton of research, and the realistic weight loss and weight gain, fat loss, fat gain, muscle loss, muscle gain kind of charts that you can link into. But it's really, really tough for you to lose that much weight. So a couple of different factors that went into his specific situation: sickness, the fact that he started to kind of eat and get back to something that I would call more normal. And then at the end of the day, kind of coming back and then seeing that scale number can be something that's a little bit scary, but we're getting kind of right back into the program and then taking that in stride. So just some quick travel tips and things that I wanted to kind of share with you all. Be aware that the scale should not run you. It's not indicative of your progress. There's a lot of times where your body is recomposing, and it happens on a very slowly. So the scale may move a little bit, it may even go up a little bit. But when you take your shirt off, when you look at yourself naked in the mirror, you're still making progress and you're still making steps in the right direction. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this week's topic, which is, drum roll please, poop. Very, very interesting topic that I got kind of as a joke from one of our group members, but I wanted to kind of get into it with you all today. So quick introduction. Poop. We can't talk about poop without talking about gut health. It's been a huge buzzword, especially as of late recent years. Quite simply, it just means having a gut that helps your digestive system to perform at an optimal level. fighting off germs, absorbing nutrients, and it's home to a ton of bacteria. Sorry, we're shutting the door as the old lady's getting back from the store. So next, it's a huge link to your gut and the brain. It's something that's kind of started to come off in recent years. And it's really important to kind of understand that the gut-brain connection is really, really effective. And if your gut is super healthy, it's going to be a better connection between the two and then lead you to be healthier overall. If you got a more efficient gut, you get better digestion, you have more energy and better performance overall. So quick little discussion about the gut health. So here's a ton of different things that the gut can kind of expect. If you're able to heal a damaged gut or one that's not super healthy in general, these are some of the things that can come from that. So, you can have improved cognitive function, you can lower your risk of disease, you can reduce your seasonal allergies, clear up your skin, enhance resilience to stress, better mood, your hormone balance can improve, reduce inflammation, stronger immune system, better energy, less food sensitivities, less anxiety and depression, and improve your absorption of critical nutrients, just to name a few. There's more research that's done, daily, weekly, monthly, especially on the physics and the understanding of what the gut really is and how it's going to kind of affect you moving forward. So be aware that there's a ton of new research. I'm sure this episode and this podcast will be dated in a number of months and years just based on new information that comes up. So now we're going to talk about stool, a sweet little substitute for poop, but we're talking poop. Healthy poop is really indicative of a healthy gut in general. So what is healthy poop? What is something that's considered a healthy bowel movement? It's going to be a couple different things that come into it. Consistency, color, shape, and frequency. So consistency should be soft and easy to pass. Should be brown in color, should be sausage or snake-like style, smooth and soft in general. And then frequency should be 1 to 3 poops per day. That's going to vary kind of person to person overall. Okay, so let's talk about the poops and your gut health and how they're kind of linked up together. So your poop can be a really clear indicator of something not being right in your gut. So this could be a number of things such as, bacteria balance, food intolerances or sensitivities from various different foods, and it can show itself in a bunch of different ways. One of those, we commonly hear of is lactose intolerant. Oh, I'm lactose intolerant. Means your stomach's bloated, you're passing gas, you're nauseous or vomiting, you get stomach pain or cramps, your stomach's gurgling, you have diarrhea, just to name a few of those things that could be indicative of a intolerance to lactose. And just something to kind of keep aware of as you're kind of moving through your life, that there's those food intolerances, those sensitivities from various foods can be something that throws off your poops, throws off your cycles, throws off into some unnatural means, and then can affect kind of your gut health over time. So the role of your diet, a healthy poop and gut can come from, a really nutrient dense diet. Some key factors that I'm going to talk about here are fiber, hydration, and then being aware of foods that don't really agree with you and those food sensitivities that I kind of hit on before. So fiber is almost like I like to say it's like a street sweeper to clean out your intestines. So fiber is super abundant in things such as fruits, veggies, and whole grains, and can be used to almost clean out those intestinal tracts and help you in your digestive system have those healthiest poops that you can. Next is going to be hydration. Drinking water is really key to make sure that your poops come out the right way. People are over 50% water. Just being aware that it's just so key and critical that you're hydrated on a day-to-day basis so that your stool kind of passes as easy and simply as possible. And then being aware of those food sensitivities and the things that don't agree with you. We talked a little bit about lactose before. So if you're somebody, cheese, maybe you have an issue with like some sort of a shellfish, or I know some people that even have things where they'll eat it and then their mouth and like tongue kind of gets scratchy, and it's almost producing some sort of small or slight allergic reaction, but end up eating it anyway. So it could be something to kind of be aware of and in tune with. Big things, it just be like, hey, ask yourself the question, how is my poop after I have this thing that doesn't make my gut feel good or whatever, and you can start to kind of piecemeal a plan and some foods that are going to agree with you, work with you, and help your gut function more optimally and help those poops come out and your performance overall. Okay, quickly, just going to branch away from food just for a second, and talk a little bit about, other factors that are going to affect your gut and poop in general. A couple of them being exercise, stress, and sleep. So if you start to get out of whack in a couple of these different areas, it can totally affect your gut health. So exercise, let's say that you are stopping exercise completely, or you didn't exercise at all, and you're going through this big shift, you decide to start a health and wellness journey, whether that's with us here at Blue Chip Online or somewhere else. It doesn't really matter, but that exercise is going to be something that can affect your gut health as well as your poop cycles and frequencies overall. Stress, this is something that can do one of two things. I mean, you could even go as so far as to say like, hey, I'm really, really stressed out. Some people, they get the stress poops. Some people, when they're super stressed out, it just like binds them up and they're not able to go to the bathroom the way that they normally are able to. Some people, when they travel, it's something that's totally different. Like when they're traveling, they're like, hey, I haven't pooped in like 3 days because I'm on the road. And it's like, whoa, could be something that your body's thrown off, and it's just whether you're in a stressful place, whether it's just unnatural for you, and you're thrown out of your routine. These are all things that can kind of affect your normal bowel movements overall. And then sleep. Sleep kind of affects every single part of the body in some way, shape, or form, whether it's direct or ancillary. And sleep definitely can affect your ability to have a healthy bowel movement, and as well as the consistency and effectiveness of those poops overall. All right, we're going to get back to kind of a newer topic that we're starting to learn a lot about, especially me here at Blue Chip, is probiotics, especially these probiotic gut health and microbiome style of foods that are really effective. Shout out to my mom, who's been pushing a lot of these things on me, and there's a couple other people that I've started to follow some of their work. Cultured foods, where we can kind of talk through some of these things and the benefits that they have. So probiotics are something that are really important to understand. They're gut-friendly bacteria that help digestive system work optimally. So all of these are some foods that are considered probiotic or cultured foods that are going to be things that can help your gut heal and have healthy bacteria. If you're somebody who has had gut issues in the past, or you have a hard time digesting, or your GI, or you've got, IBS, any of these types of things, if you can incorporate some more of these foods in your day-to-day life, it can be really effective for you. So kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurts, kvass, miso, and kombucha are just a couple. These again are going to have those probiotics. They're going to have those pieces of the pie that are going to help your gut kind of reform from the inside out, and then will help your bowel movements, your energy, your effectiveness, and all those things as you move forward. And I cannot, stress enough that we here are not medical professionals. I do not have a doctorate in any way, shape, or form, especially when it comes to practicing medicine. So a couple different ways to know that it's time to seek the advice of a poop pro, aka your doctor or primary care physician, is going to be if you're seeing any sort of blood in your poop, if you're somebody who is, crazy colors and it's not something that is very normal, especially if it's got that red hue. Definitely don't be afraid to go in and talk to a professional. If you're getting pain, cramps, or unexplained weight loss is another thing where you can kind of go in, get seen by somebody who's a professional, or that's functional medicine or traditional medicine as well. And then general discomfort that can't be addressed and helped based on, your own unique situation, whether that's trying to incorporate probiotics or eating something very specific. It's always okay to go and get those things tested out, whether that's food intolerances or any sort of other testing and evaluation from a medical professional, because again, that is not who we are here. So that's all we kind of have for you guys today. We're looking forward to keeping this train rolling and getting some more guests on here, so I'm not just doing a monologue on our next podcast episode. So we'll see you guys in the next one. And until then, you don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. Peace out.